it's so nice to be here, Michelle. Thank you
I
so much
know.
for joining. How was your
You're
day?
welcome. It was good. It was really good. Very busy.
Good. Yeah, very busy indeed. And Windy, hi Leah, thanks for joining. The weather's just been a bit nuts, but tonight, well, we're excited. Well, I mean, there's the wild weather going on outside, but there's some exciting conversations to be had here. Michelle, for those who are just joining and who are going to listen to the replay later, Michelle and I have known each other for just about 18 months now, would you say?
Yeah. But there is
Yep,
a story to that. We did meet. Uh, was it last year?
it was. I think it was in May
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Um,
I was,
for
feel free to say from your end, I was presenting.
yeah. So, Katherine was actually doing some training with my current employer with a group of us. In our field and giving us some training. And I just was so obsessed with Katherine and the way she delivered. And there was definitely a connection straight away. I
Yeah.
didn't know what it was, but it's like you knew me from there. And it's like, she's talking the way I talk and she's like this. It's like, so I really got blown away. And then it was probably, yeah, a year later. No,
No, I think we just kept talking towards
we
the end. Yeah,
did, yeah. And I
we
was
connected
following you.
straight
I'm like,
away.
I'm going to follow her. I want to see what her vibe's all about. I'm like, why am I so connected with this woman? um,
Yeah.
then it was that one night where I'm just like, I was going through a bit of um, a slope in some things personally. And then something just told me to reach out to you. And I had no control over it. No control at all, but just pick up the phone and go, Katherine, I need help. How can you help me? And
Yeah,
that's when it
yeah.
all began.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was so honored that night when you messaged me and then we spoke. I was so honored because I know that you're not easily, you don't just easily, choose anyone to just, speak to.
No, I'm very
So
fussy in a, in a
yes,
in a way
in a
that
good
in
way,
terms of protection of myself, I think
of course.
we do tend to sometimes, and no disrespect to anyone, sometimes marketing can be great on people and you
Yeah.
read things, but it's that connection that I need to feel. And that's what caught me from day one when you did even just the work training with me. And I'm like, this woman's true. This woman speaks truth. And I know I'm going to get something valuable from what you have to offer. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that.
Nothing.
That's something that is really important to me to really be me and show my true self and my true authentic self. Because I'm the same when I'm working with people. I really need to feel that connection. And you can actually tell because I'm quite intuitive. I do feel it. And I think you are too. Well, you are intuitive yourself, Michelle, and
Yes.
you
Sorry,
definitely
I've
do
got
feel it.
a bit of a dog in the back. I'm at my parents' house. I'm looking after dogs. So if you hear something moaning, it's
Oh,
a dog in
that's all
the
right.
background.
I'm expecting Leo to jump on my lap any second because he likes to like just get into the videos. Like the other night when I was doing the card shuffle, that was so funny. Did anybody go back to see that card shuffle? Because I was doing those card shuffles. I'm in my shorts. I mean, like I looked terrible. The kitchen bench looked shocking. Andrew's recording so he can show me later. And then I went, I'm just going to show the world up. That's what was happening behind the scenes. Leo was making trouble. Leo's my cat for those who don't know. But no, we love animals, and in fact,
Yeah.
I love like I have a special place. I mean, I have a cat, but I love dogs a
Yeah.
lot, and for somehow I have this ability to heal dogs in particular. So that's why I love them so much. So yeah, so feel free to show.
Yeah.
So
Like,
so Michelle, oh my God, hello,
he's
cutie.
he's a little bit old. He's blind in one eye, but yeah, he's cute. Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Michelle, can you just share with us a little bit, and you don't have to go into like personal details. I'm not
Okay.
asking to share unless you
It's
want to,
okay.
but it's not necessary. It's more so about you and, sort of what led you, like, we had the chat, but, sort of where were you, when we had the chat, sort of what were you looking for and what was it about you, and you mentioned about, authenticity, but we actually spoke about the program, like what was it that attracted you, and you said yes to the Thrive by Design method. I actually first we started with
Mhm.
a human design reading, didn't we?
Human design, definitely. Yeah. Humans. It was.
Oh, and
Yeah.
intuitive reading too.
Reading. Yes. Yeah. So we did the. Yeah, we did the reading first, and that's so we
That's
connected
right.
with some of the stuff there, and then we got into the human design. I think what really caught my attention with what you had to offer is knowing that I could find what's unique about me. I think that's what really spoke to me is that I was wondering why I wasn't adapting to certain people, whether it's relationship, work, or whatever it was. It's just like, why aren't people connecting with me the way that I want to connect? The frustration, that was the biggest one. I think that was the biggest
Yeah.
calling when I connected with you, is like, Katherine, the messages that I want to give across to people, whether it's work, and yes, you're there, wanted to get across it, but why aren't people understanding me?
Yes.
And then that played out, which we do understand in now human design. Why do my emotions fluctuate? All that kind of stuff. Because I was getting upset. I'm thinking something's wrong with me. And I really
Yes.
just want to get to the core of what I believe was wrong with me. And really, we know now nothing is.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I remember that when you were
Yeah.
speaking to me, and I just really wanted to give you the biggest hug and say, Michelle, there's actually nothing wrong with you. We're going to actually work out what your human design blueprint is, where you're going to understand yourself, and you'll see that what you perceive as weakness is actually your superpower, and how you can use that, to like and live that aligned life and alignment, and start allowing life to flow, and you actually use it as a superpower instead. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember that clearly, and I think the first thing I said to you is, "There's nothing wrong with you." And and that's
Yeah.
something that's really important, because I was told for so many years and years and years and years, that there was something wrong with me, because I'm a manifesting generator, as are you. And
Mm-hmm.
we go at lightning speed, and we jump timelines, and we love variety, and we change our minds all the time, and we start things and don't necessarily finish them, and then the next people are saying to us, "Oh, do you have ADHD? Are you, you change your mind often? Do you ever
Yeah.
stick to anything?" Yeah, yeah. And I remember just when we talked about, especially when I saw in your chart that you have the emotional wave, and
Mm-hmm.
and I explained to you about that emotional wave. We have the highs and the lows, and for you to, when it's time to make decisions, to wait to be in that emotional neutral place, and also your strategy is to wait to respond. So we don't jump with the response. We actually just wait and hold, and we ride out our wave, and because we have the same strategy and authority. and
Yeah.
and so what? So we wait, and then we wait for our cycle to say yes or no. So
Mm-hmm.
what did you? That's what has happened since you've
That
known
has
that.
shifted a lot, because a lot of me, for my reactions, or yeah, I could say either you have to behave, sorry. um yeah, I think for me it was the reactions. One, it's because I felt like I wasn't being heard. So the emotional reactions would, like, I'm not being heard, or I'm not being understood, or wanting to respond. It's always in defensiveness. And that's honestly, in this 6 weeks, and with other things that we were doing, which we'll get onto as well, with the energy hacks and things, it's now going, okay, sit with it, sit with what's playing out before responding to an email. Because straight away when an email would come, it's like defense. Okay, yes, I'm doing this. Yes, don't you understand? When now it's just like, oh, I can be calm about that. Give me a second, and I can just respond. And I, it might sound silly to other people, but it is such a game changer, because you don't know how it was weighing me down, like always feeling like I have to get a point across, when all it was just that emotional wave that I had to just to sit with before responding. So that, like, now it's just, nothing's an effort anymore. It doesn't feel like it's draining me. It's more of a, Michelle's going to respond, and this is how, yeah,
Um,
if that makes
I
sense.
I love that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we talk about burnout, and and the Thrive by Design program, the 12-week transformation program, is actually addressing burnout. Now, prior to learning about human design, I used to think that burnout was, I went, which I did. I went for 5 years without a holiday, and I was burnt out. And I actually thought it was burnout. Like, that's what burnout is. But burnout is actually when you're going against your design, your flow. You're
Yeah.
out of alignment, and
And your truth
everything's
as
an
well. That's
effort.
something I'd like to
Yeah,
say. Yeah, the truth about
yeah.
what's you. Yeah. And the
And
conditioning, that's a lot of that as well. Yeah.
that society's conditioning, we we
Yeah.
we have layers and layers and layers of it. I mean, I can go on and on about my history, and you've got certain your version as well, and
Yeah.
layers of people's expectations, and you should do this, and you should say that, and don't say that, and you shouldn't say that, and that's not okay, and you should be more of this. And we, a lot of that, I experienced that for years myself, and it's exhausting. And I remember when I was speaking to you, you were saying how, yeah, you were responding to emails quickly, you were defensive, um,
Yep.
putting people off
Guilty.
guard, and
Yeah.
people thought you were a little bit aggressive.
That's the thing, and that's where it did sting a bit, because it's like, wow, that the picture of me that this is really not me. Please understand it. And it took a while for people to go, oh, this is where Michelle's coming from. And it sounds a bit harsh, but the damage, yes, okay. The damage was already done, if that makes sense. So for me, it was really going inwards and going, what can I really change, and how can I change it to make a positive impact, what I really love to do. And
Yes.
it's understanding that, yeah, it's not all about being heard, it's just about how to express the right way. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
actually, you find that by waiting to respond, thinking about it, waiting for your emotional wave to neutralize, at that point, you've had some time. And then when you come from that place of, calmness and peacefulness, you've had a thought out response. Are you finding that people are actually now listening to you?
Yes. And it's like I'm actually feeling like I'm attracting more of what I want, or getting responses in such a different way where it's like, oh, this was actually easy. You know what I mean? Like, or
Yes.
say if it's a group, if it's staff, or yeah, trying to get something done, it's like things actually flowing a lot better. Where before, when I was like defense, like this, it's like, yeah, it was 10 times harder to just get something done. So now it's just, I feel like I've got a lot of collaboration around me because I'm putting in that different approach. Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. And
have people
family as
commented?
well. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Family, like normally, even when talking about defensive reactionness, it would be like, oh, they're making a comment now. Oh, God, I got to defend myself. And ouch, that hurts. Well, now it's like, okay, oh, no. And then the conversations flow a little bit more better. And even if they are shorter, it's not as in it doesn't hurt. It hasn't hurt anyone, or we haven't had an argument out of it. It's now just in a place of peace. So, yeah.
That is so wonderful.
Yeah.
I love, my heart is singing to hear all of this. Um, and
Thanks
then,
so much. But yeah. Yeah.
and so since then, also we started introducing the energy hacks too. So from
Yes.
the energy hacks, that so for people who are sort of watching this now and live or later,
Yeah.
the energy hacks, they're so magical.
Very powerful. Very
Very
powerful.
powerful, and
Yeah.
I call it like an energy disruptor. So they shift and disrupt energy very quickly. So if we have something going one way and we want it to go, we want to turn that around. I provide these energy hacks, which is that they're like affirmations in a way. We would call,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, the average person would call them affirmations, but they're pretty much energy shifting sort of
Mm-hmm.
messages and well, affirmations. So how are
Yeah.
you finding those? Because we're
Yeah.
doing the
And
12
I'm
week
happy.
program has them on the daily basis.
Yeah, and then it's beautiful about your program too, because the access that we have with you, Katherine, and I'm going to be so vulnerable here. And I know you said it's up to me to share, and I will share. Going through my recent relationship breakdown and all that, you were there in that moment for me, and I know I shared that with you on your first
At
training
my
that you
event.
had,
Yeah,
event, sorry,
thank
and I
you.
did break down. And that's because one, the support was there straight away. Two, the energy hack, it made me, it worked. It was about breaking the chains,
And
correct me how I'm saying this, cutting the connections,
cutting
or
the
cutting the
cords, I think.
cords.
Yeah.
Yeah. To really break away from that negativity of the relationship that I was in. And honestly, if I didn't have that and didn't believe in the way that it worked, I think I would be in a very dark circle still, or cycles, should I say. I would just be repeating something. This absolutely gave me the chance to recover a lot quicker. So I'm not going to cry on live. I'm not going to do that. But
That's but I
but
have to. I mean, I know what I watched you
yeah,
go through that, and I'm
yeah,
so proud of you, Michelle, because
mm,
you actually you got through that in record speed, and
uh,
you actually and you applied everything that or everything
mm-hmm,
I gave you and how I
yeah,
guided you. You applied it all, and
yeah,
like kudos to you, because that actually is what really sped things up. And for you, your timeline, talk about jumping timelines,
yeah,
really getting, moving forward in, and also I think really seeing things clearly for what they were and accepting situations as opposed to looping. And we tend to
yeah,
loop around the why, why, why. why did this happen? Why did it happen? And you initially did loop into that. I know you won't mind me saying that. And then we
Of
just
the moments
basically,
as
yeah.
well, but yeah,
And
yeah,
of course, because we're human, of course,
yeah,
I loop in that too at times. But you
yeah,
were able to bring yourself out of that.
yeah,
And then we did actually I was really chuffed on Saturday morning when your mum, I heard you sent me that message about after
yeah.
being at your house on Friday night.
Yeah, you cleansed the apartment amazingly, and I have not felt even more comfortable in my own place now. And the minute that Mum walked in the door, she's like, "What's different?" I said, "What do you mean? What's different, Mum? What do you feel?" She's like, "It's different in here. It feels lighter." I'm like, "Oh God, I've got to tell Katherine. I've got to tell her." She's like, "What did she do?" I'm like, "She was here yesterday. She was cleaning all the energy. We did the whole meditation here, and Mum, it works. Like every room, every area where." Bless the person, but was the
Yes.
energy's clean and it felt that way. So now it's like it's a different homecoming to me now when I come home because it's a sacred place now. It doesn't
Oh,
have that toxicity that it is. So yeah, when Mum
I
said
love
that,
that
because I didn't
so
tell her
much.
anything. I did not tell her anything what happened. I just said, oh yeah, I had my, call with Katherine, whatever, it was, I just said it
Yeah.
like that. She's like, yeah, but it's so different. I'm like, yeah, because it works, Mum.
Oh, I love that so
Yeah,
much because part of the program, of course, and for those who don't know, part of the program some of the sessions are human design sessions, so we go really deep into the chart, and then so that I mean, we can see how it's playing out in our lives, and how so for Michelle's life and how she can and strategies to put in place to combat things where challenges are, and again, identifying superpowers and so and how to live your life according to your human design so that you're in flow and you're happy and you're joyous and you have energy and and you're feeling wonderful. So that's the one part of it. But also, guys, I'm intuitive and I also shift energy. So I remember I actually had my own reading it was probably about 2 months ago now by a very much loved psychic medium, and because I like to have my people too, and they read for me. And he actually said to me, your hands are very powerful. You have very powerful energy, healing hands. And, don't forget about that. So I've decided to include it in my program where I continue. I mean, I do heal people, but as I said, I also heal animals, but I actually clear space. And I can do this on, like, I actually came to your house, which I wanted to.
yeah,
You don't live
special.
far from me. It was fine. But I also do this remotely. I clear space. And, oh, when I received that message on Saturday morning, so happy for you. Yes.
Yeah, I just couldn't help. But yeah, it's just a lot of things. And now even, the hacks that you have given me for protection and things like that, it's great that I know I can sit in my space, pull out what needs to be like that's drawn to me in that moment or what I need in that and it works. Like even with work and I know I can't say too much where I work, but
Yes.
in certain things that I needed that support with, like wow, did the results come? And that's just a matter of believing that it works and that when you do change your mindset and shift the energy, how much you can manifest. Even with the money one, with the where we
Yes.
said
Yes. In
how
the
money flows and
yes.
remember when I called you and I said I got someone wanted not to give me 10 cents off because I didn't have 10 cents and I said
Yes.
but Katherine it worked but I had to give the 10 cents back because I felt bad. And she's like, but no, Michelle,
It's about
there's a reason
receiving.
for that. Yes.
It's about exactly. It's about receiving. So
Yeah.
exactly, and these are some of the techniques that I teach as well. So I
Yeah.
mean, and I'm still learning too. Mindset work. The mindset work I've been doing for years, and that was how we first met through a mindset workshop.
Yeah.
But I've been doing mindset work for years because I've obviously I've managed teams. For those who don't know, I have a big corporate career behind me. I managed teams. I was a big time general manager of
Mm-hmm.
sales teams and things, and so I loved the mindset work because I'm a big believer of what we think we create, what we
Mm-hmm.
say we create. Like our that we have the power to manifest. Our thoughts are very, very powerful. And I actually was very blessed to be just be in front of Jim Rohn, who Jim Rohn was one of the first motivational speakers. He was very big in the 1970s and the 80s, and he actually mentored Tony Robbins. That's how he
Yeah.
knows all these things from Jim Rohn. And I was
Yeah.
a very young girl. I was 21 years old. I was involved back then in that business Herbalife, and they had Jim Rohn. He was their main mentor with the Mark. What's his name? I can't remember his name now. the founder. And as a 21-year-old, I was learning about sales, but I actually was sitting in front of a great like Jim Rohn. And, he said, for things to change, you need to change. For things
Mm-hmm.
to get better, you need to get better. And, to hear that from a young age, it made a massive impact, had a big impact on my life. And also my mother, those who know me know my mother. She's amazing. She's now 87 years old. She's an OAM. She's very well known for her community work, but she also raised me, my sister, the two of us, and my brother. But I remember my sister and I always together, and she raised us to really have this positive mindset. And the other thing is what I tell you all the time is love yourself, love
100%.
yourself. Because
Yeah.
mum used to say, can you imagine, she was telling teenagers in the 80s how that she loves herself. And we used to say, Mum, you love yourself. And she goes, I do. I
Yeah.
do. And I didn't realize what a powerful statement that was then and for the 80s, but she was so ahead of her time. So this is the stuff that, it's really important. It's key. It's key
Yeah.
for change. So that's also something that, these energy hacks, it's a combination of that mindset work. So it's another
Mm-hmm.
step further. And I actually am learning those from a very powerful energy coach from the States who is also learning under the mentorship of Shaman Durek. Shaman Durek is a sixth generation shaman. Look him up, anyone. He's he's got a Netflix series. He's just married last year he married the Princess of Norway, I think, or Denmark, I think it is. They're on Netflix. Have a look. And yeah, and he's so powerful. She's learned from him, and she's teaching me. So this is part of it. And so you mentioned about the everyday support. So we do the WhatsApp support every
Yep.
day.
Mm-hmm.
And how has that helped you every day, like on a daily basis?
Yeah. So I know you've done a few, like the 7-day ones with the money, and then the other ones with the manifesting and that. Honestly, it's having also it's accountability as well. So you've got that support daily, the accountability to go, what you need to do, and focus on what you need to focus on. So it really lightens me up every day. It's like, what's going to be today? What's the energy hack today? Or what can I tap into? So honestly, how I've shifted in terms of from someone that was so, say, frantic when I'd get up in the morning, not having a direction, I am now calm, collective, stress peaks, but it's managed, and I'm happy, and it's being myself. So yeah, I hope that answers that. But yeah, it's just having that just lovely accountability there, and the love and support that's there. And yeah, I never want it to end, and it will never end. But yeah, you do a fantastic job, and
Oh.
I recommend it to anyone. If you want to tap in and know yourself, and want to have that loving and gentle support, you've got it there. And you can be a tough nut too, and you do it in a gentle way
Oh.
because you care. And I don't mean that in a bad. It's because
Yeah.
it's like
I
you
actually
want,
did have to give you some
yeah,
tough love. Yes.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that. And yeah, so I cannot appreciate enough, and so blessed and so honored that I've connected with someone like you. And I will share this for a long time.
Oh.
How much you've shaped me, and I'll keep bragging about you,
Well,
darling. Yeah,
we're only halfway
I
through,
know. I
and we
still got
still
more.
have another 6 weeks
I
to
know.
go. I think I'm pretty sure we're only at 6 weeks. I feel like I've been working with you forever, but I think it's
I
only six
know.
weeks, and then we still have another 6 weeks. So, what do you think? Like, what are your goals? Where do you want to be in another 6 weeks? What do you think, based on sort of what you've experienced? What do you think? Where are you going to be?
Whoa,
We'll
you
have
put me
because
on the
we're
spot
gonna
now.
come back in at the 12 weeks, and let's check in to see where we're at.
You really put me on the spot now, Catherine. Yeah, no,
You don't have to answer.
no, but where I want to be is that I can now sort of gift this to others too, in a sense of my journey, share the journey with others to connect them back to themselves too, that I can now be a voice that has gone through this journey. And just when we talk about a future self, I see myself spreading that goodness. So it's me now looking at myself that I'm untouchable in a sense that I know I've got the tools and everything that I need to continue on a journey that I can manifest what I want, and
Yes,
without
beautiful.
hesitation. Because
Yes.
yes, there's still glimpses, because it's not that I don't know everything and I'm not going to know everything, but having the tools and understanding it and believing it and living it more I'm just going to be a more happier version of myself, and I cannot wait to see that. It's like you're in a bubble, but you're not in a bubble. You're just in the moment. That's exactly what it is. Living in the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I've definitely seen for you, I've definitely seen the self-confidence and the self-love grow in that
Yeah.
6 weeks so much. And what I can see and intuitively what I can pick, what I'm picking up is just how much further and how much more standing in your power. Like I've seen you, I've had visions, I've shared some visions. We'll
I
wait for
know.
the other ones, but
I
I've
can't
definitely
wait,
had.
but we'll hold on to that. We'll celebrate when that comes.
And yeah, I've had other visions I haven't told you about yet. Really good stuff. Like I can really feel it. And yes, look, the other thing, as you mentioned, is, if you need a bit of tough love, you're going to get it from me
Yeah.
because, and in a loving way, of course,
Of
because
course. Yes.
I've also experienced so much life experience myself. So it's the classic case of when you hire a business coach, they say to you, oh look, I'm going to show you how to cut corners, and like, because I've done all this stuff, and so
Yeah.
you don't have to do it because I've done it. In this case, it's not so much that you don't have to go through it. Of course you have to go through it, but my
Yeah.
goal is to help you get there faster and
Yeah.
get there with less trauma,
Yeah.
and really like removing as much of the why me, why
Yes.
is this, why is it happening, and
And that
helping you to
definitely
understand
minds the loop.
that
Yeah.
loop. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I can see that. And so
And
we're
you
still
hold it,
we're
and
still
how I
moving.
look at it is, yes, you're holding me accountable. You're holding my hand through it. And that's what, honestly, out there, you don't get much of that. And you're doing that. You're holding me through this big change. And I've never had this much support through something like this, through my personal life, especially. I haven't had that much of a handhold like I have with you. So,
Oh, well, you're very
that is
deserving.
very special. And yeah, and you holding me accountable of, cutting the cords and the connections of things, because otherwise I, I wouldn't be as happy as I am now. And so, yeah, I give it to all that you do. Yeah.
Oh, look, oh my God, my heart
Yeah.
is singing, and I'm my heart singing. If only I knew how to cut cords 8 years ago, I would have been, I would have been happier, faster myself. So, this is what, like I said, let's get you there faster so that you're not going to have to go through years of, this, because
Yeah.
I do speak to women in particular, some men too, but I do speak to many women who are holding on to the past and really struggling to let it go, and it's still impacting their lives. And we tend to not put ourselves first. And also the biggest thing for me is to actually just be release ourselves from all of these expectations and all the conditioning that society and even our family and our friends, they mean well. It's not that they've done it maliciously, they mean well, but they do say, oh, you're this or you're that, and we believe it. We actually believe it, and we'll say, oh, I know I can be a little bit difficult at times. And it's like, well, explain that. What do you mean by difficult? Like, in
Yeah.
what way? Let's work on that. In what way? So that's this is the part that I love. I'm so passionate about this work. It's what I've chosen. I had, I sort of was a few years ago looking at what was I going to do. I was actually going to be a mindset coach in the corporate world and be a sales and mindset coach in the corporate world. And then I'm like, sales coach, you know what? I've been there, done that 1,000 times. But what lights me up is actually helping women transform and transition into, this almost like this tired and exhausted version into this thriving, amazing, empowered woman who actually knows herself and no longer allows herself for others to tell her who she is, and and how she should be and how she should act and how she should conform. No more conforming to society and society's rules.
Yeah, and definitely the work that you do. And it's, how would I say? It's not one size fits all, because the program is for the person and the individual. So
Yes.
your program and what is involved in is speaking to the person to get the best, as you say, the version of themselves. So it's not like you go into a course and it's like everyone gets the same thing. Yeah, you get the same program, but you come out you, and that's what
Yes.
that's the best way I feel like I can describe it too. From my side of it, it's just like I'm walking out as me, as my true self, and it's connecting all the dots. It's not going to follow these rules and you feel like you're everybody else. No, this is me, and I'm loving
Oh,
me, and I'll come out how I come out, and I can't. Yeah. So there'll be
oh,
more lives, won't there, Katherine? I'll be.
there's going to be so many more lives. I'm going to we're going to get back here on at the 12-week mark. And you know what? If there's something before the 12-week mark and something like, we'll come back and tell everybody about it, because I'm just loving this transformation. And as I said, so thank you, Michelle, because I did ask you the other day, would you mind coming on? I think you said, you were happy to. I'm like, would you mind coming on? Let's come on and tell people,
Yeah.
because I've actually just launched. I've got a mini course that at the moment, a mini offer from now till the end of the year. It's a 3-part offer. So like a snippet for those who want to try Thrive by Design. It's like a snippet of it. So there's 3 sessions, and they can be whatever you want. But mostly what I've said is, the first one is an intuitive clarity call, which is essentially the psychic medium reading. Also for those who are listening to the playback or live now. I'm also I'm actually becoming I've come out to say that I am a psychic medium. I do get messages. I do connect with loved ones who have
Mm,
passed on, and it's interesting because as time's going on, it's getting stronger and stronger. So it's something that I used to just talk about and say my friends and family knew. I'd sort of just throw a few comments here and there when I knew something was a certain way to friends, but I realized, my gosh, I have this gift that I can help so many people and give comfort to people. So in that, if you want that too, and you want more of that, you can choose. And I can do more in that in our session of the psychic medium reading, as opposed to the human design. And then it can be, but the human designer always look at the chart, and because it's always playing out in your life, and we add it into whatever we're talking about. So
yeah.
that's why I call myself the intuitive human design coach. So yeah, you can tailor it. So if you're interested, like what I suggest is, please either send me a message or book in on go onto my website, which is the link is in my bio. Book a discovery call and let's have a bit of a chat about how we can help. How I can help you. If there's also a 30-day energy hack in that, so whatever you choose. So it might be money, abundance. I'm also helping people with family issues where teenage kids, and how to turn that around and more harmony in the home. Like these energy hacks, they shift energy in any way that you want it to. So it's the way I create it is that we basically based on the situation. So please send a message if and we can have a bit of a chat. And that's about or less than half the price actually of your Drive by Design program, and I can talk you through that. So but thank you so much,
You're
Michelle. Is there
welcome.
one last thing, like what would you say if somebody is hesitant to come on and to try,
Just
even
pick
even
up
at
the
least even have
phone.
a reading with me?
Honestly, just pick up the phone. I had no control over it, and I tell you, I was literally in this bedroom, which is my brother's bedroom. Sorry. I was lying here, I was crying, and I didn't know who to turn to. And I swear to you, the minute that I connected with Katherine, it changed. And I'm not just saying this. I'm genuinely from the heart. There should be no hesitation, because it should just be pick up the phone and have a chat at least, and just to go, this is where I'm at. Because when you make that step, then everything comes to you, and it's until you take that step that you will know. So that's what I'll leave you, and that's, yeah, and you'll see how much your life will change. So take that leap, just do it. Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle.
That's
Oh my
okay.
goodness. Thank you so much. So sending you so much love. And here's to the next 12 weeks and our next live. I can't wait to see where we're at and where you're at, because I know that you're going to have some really amazing stories in another 6 weeks. I can see it. I'm going to let
I'll
you
just
get
let
there
it
first.
play out, then you can tell me I told you so. I had those
Exactly,
visions.
exactly. And this is the thing. This is the other thing that I have this ability to see you, all of you, in the future, and I'm like, it's going to be great. I'm not going to tell you exactly, but it's going to be great. I can see it. And that's one of the favorite things of this role that I play as a coach, is that I actually can see so much goodness, and I just can't wait to watch it all play
No,
out.
I'm living it, so
Oh, thank you
yeah,
so much.
that's
Have a
okay.
beautiful night, and everybody,
You too.
much to you, and to everybody who came and joined us tonight. Thank you so much, and everyone who's watching the replay. Thank you so much. As I said, reach out and we can have a bit of a chat about how I can help you as well. All right. Good night.
Good
Bye.
night.
Thank you again. Bye.